March 18th, 9:32. This is a hybrid meeting. We do have people online as well as in the audience. So I'm going to start off with the land acknowledgement. We respectfully acknowledge that the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen is located on the Treaty 20 Mississauga territory of the Mississauga and Chippewa Nation, collectively known as the Williams Treaties First Nation, which includes Curve Lake, Hiawatha, Alderbells, Cookog Island, Rama, Beausoleil, and Jardine Island First Nations. The Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen respectfully acknowledges that the Williams Treaties First Nations are the stewards and caretakers of the lands and waters in perpetuity, and that they continue to maintain this responsibility to ensure their health and integrity for generations to come. I'll ask for a moment of silent reflection for council and staff to quietly reflect on our duties to the community that we represent. Okay, I'll remind council of the declaration of pecuniary interest. If it arises, you can declare it then. Councillor Clements has sent a regret. So we have minutes here from the regular council meeting of March 4th and special council meeting for budget on March 7th. So in order, I'll look for a motion that we receive those minutes. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb. Second, Councillor Doherty. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, so we're going to move right into delegations. Our first delegation here is Matthew Phillip, Senior Project Lead with Unity Design with regards to the Community Center Fitness Gym Design Review. Welcome, Matthew.
Good morning, everybody, Councillor, Mayor, and town staff.
Try it again there.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
We haven't got any sound right now.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me?
Try again.
Can anybody hear me within the town meeting? Anybody can hear me? Anybody? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate
I don't know
it.
if the rest can, but
There. Try again, Matthew.
Good morning, Council. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
You can hear me okay?
Yeah, we're good now. That's good now.
Okay. Thank you, Council and Mayor Martin and town staff for having me again today. I'd like to share my screen for this meeting here. You should be able to see a PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So I've been asked to come to council to present the what we're calling the phase 2 of the community center and focus on the fitness gym design and review for today. So topics for today, I want to reflect on the community outreach that has happened in the past, and then we'll go through the proposed design of the fitness gym, and then we'll end with recommendations to council and questions. So to reflect on the community outreach specifically, if you recall, the town back in August 2023 engaged the community to assess priorities for future recreational facilities in an outreach program for a survey. And the community identified the top priority being a fitness gym. Other priorities came with it as well, but the fitness gym seemed to be at the top of the list. So town staff has onboarded Unity Design Studio since then to develop a design package that would support future grant opportunities and potential cost estimation for the state-of-the-art fitness gym. So to review the proposed design, we all know where the community center is, so we're kind of focusing in on that area. In early February of this year, it came to council to present to yourselves in the community for phase one. That's highlighted in blue. And so we're focusing today on the proposed fitness gym on phase two, which is the east of the existing community center and northeast of the phase one. So within this design location on the property, we've identified two constraints and proposing two opportunities from those constraints. Constraint number one is we do acknowledge that we're putting a brand new building within an existing treed area and a landscaped area. That would require various trees to be removed. Now, but the opportunity for this piece is we're proposing implementing a tree compensation plan. So what this entails is essentially with the project going forward, the project would onboard an arborist to review all existing trees, what their makes are, the size, develop a plan of removal, and they come with a recommendation typically at a ratio of 3:1. So that means if we remove one tree, we as a project put 3 brand new ones in the property, and they recommend what they are and where they're placed. On top of that, these trees are worth reusing. So we're proposing doing a repurposing of the lumber to the best that we possibly can for the project to support sustainability and responsible development and reusing that lumber into the project itself. Constraint number 2 is what we've been talking about for phase 1 and phase 2, and is concerned with parking locations for the new facility. However, there is an opportunity, furthermore, that the current surrounding area would be required to provide an efficient and safe vehicular and pedestrian experience. And I've simply highlighted areas of recommendation, keeping away from the ball diamond, the park, and keeping as much of an existing forested tree area as possible while providing brand new parking, brand new pedestrian walkways, and potential use of the northern property gravel parking area as well. Now, to kind of dive into the site plan, as it were, so again, blue is the phase 1. The addition for the size of the addition is 29 feet off the building to the east, so 29 feet wide total, and 69 feet long. In the past council meeting requested some dimensions, so those are kind of accurate to the current design. That would allow the phase 1 addition alone to be just over 1,600 square feet. And then the phase 1 renovation on the interior of the space would be roughly 2,600 square feet. This is calculated for the basement and the elevator as a whole, but so I'm just focusing on the main ground floor for now. For phase 2, it would be 65 feet wide to the east 85 feet long to the north with roughly 5,500 square feet in size. So totaling for phase one, phase two, roughly 8,000 square feet of brand new builds and renovation. So just reflecting on phase one in the past presentation, this is kind of the block planning exercise, and then going into this conceptual and construction documentation phase is that highlighting the main vestibule. And there was a question as well I wanted to bring to the table today that it's 20 feet long by 10 feet wide at a minimum, with the two sliding doors coming into a new lobby space with a minimum corridor. This is the smallest corridor for all areas in the addition and the renovation of 6 feet wide. And then these rooms here would be 12 feet wide rooms on the inside of those rooms. The new lobby, as it were, be 22 feet long by 18 feet wide. And then the renovation was 2,600 square feet. So focusing into phase two now, that this north window is sized to suit a double sliding door. So phase two happens. The only real renovation for it is to take that window out and put a brand new sliding door in, and then it would kind of be blocked off, so to allow the public to still have phase one while phase two can be constructed. Walking into that sliding door, you would be greeted by brand new staff or reception area. They would have their own locked office that would focus in, or a viewing area of the fitness room. So you walk into a coat and boot area. The gym itself is an open concept approach with roughly 2,500 square feet of space, coming down to a wide corridor to male-female locker rooms with universal washroom for full accessibility, staff washroom as well. The locker rooms do have showers, private stalls, cleaning, sinks, and so on. This room right here would be kind of a dedicated staff only building service room. So the new building would require new mechanical units and then tied into the new power that's going to be placed for phase one. So we're sizing the new power requirements for phase two as well. And then this area here is, we are kind of calling it a multi-purpose room, so that during the day people can do classes, yoga or stretching and so on, but after hours that the space could be used for the community. So this would be a locked door, and then this could be a secure door that people can come into here and use it after hours. And I'll show you a slide on what that looks like. This drawing depicts what the ceiling design looks like. The hexagon views are just linear lights. You see them quite a bit in fitness gyms nowadays, and so it's an all kind of open concept approach to provide as much ceiling space as possible. The gray dotted visual is just a drywall suspended ceiling. And then the grid lines here is the idea of repurposing the lumber and using it for a suspended ceiling for aesthetics. This is an east elevation if we were standing in the existing forest area or parking lot. So I've kind of identified the phase one to the left and phase two to the right if we were staying in that location. So it's 69 feet long, start to finish, and then 85 feet long too. So it kind of gives you a scale as well compared to your existing community space to the new one. So we're going to taking that same design approach, same aesthetics from phase one for materiality and heights and windows. For the south side of this is if we're standing in the bowl diamond. So everything to the left of the dashed line is your existing building. You're not touching that side of the building as a whole. So all the east side right now would be phase one, and this area would be 29 feet long or wide, I should say, and then 65 feet wide for phase two. This is a rendered image concept of what the building would look like for future. It has the same design approach again for phase one, and looking at localized metal products. There's a few. There's one down the road, HBM metal trim, and then there's one locally in Imperial we're looking at. So using those local companies to provide this nice design aesthetic would be great. So these drawings here kind of depict both the floor plan on the right and then the ceiling plan. So highlighting what we call a cut section. If you're cutting the building in this location of right here, and what you would be standing inside that building looking to your left, it kind of gives you a sense of scale and size and program. So the reception area would be at the far end here. There's people on treadmills, stretching, a fitness room, the weights. This was the piece about the multi-purpose room. So they're kind of identifying a community birthday party, after hours, that the space could be used for that as a potentially an additional revenue for the town. Same approach for this area, but we would be cutting the building at this line just to kind of see what that looks like for scale and size. And the reception would have this low ceiling, maybe some pendant lighting at the reception desk here. This would be the coat rack coming in here, people jogging, working out, and beyond. This is the staff office area. So this is the window mentioning it's kind of we call it an outside corner window, so you can see people coming in while you see people in the fitness gym as well. This would be your building service room, also janitorial room. A building service room would kind of be, there's going to be a dedicated electrical box, could be your janitor room as well, and things to that nature. And then a locker room with the sinks, vanity, mirrors, double sink, I should say, and then partitioned toilet rooms. Same approach to look in this direction of the building, that it would have a wide office area for safe, or to have a safe in as well. And then that window would look out to the entire workout room. It's important for safety as well. The corridor would have you have one in the community center, a water bottle filling station as proposed. And then the suspended light fixtures, the hexagon light fixtures. This right here is kind of typical, proposed for a fan, just a circular fan to provide airflow in this space. So this is a rendered image of what could potentially be the fitness gym. If I'm walking into this space and I'm about to put my coat on the coat rack to my right, I'm looking into the fitness gym with cardio to my right, stretching at the far end, over in that direction, free weights towards a large mirror. This would be a mirror with a clear story window looking into the existing landscapes space. And it's just a simple ceiling design with linear light fixtures. This is, if I were on the treadmill looking behind me, and just a different view range of all the cardio gym equipment looking to the existing parking lot as well. And turning to my right, there's the stretching area and free weight area. This is if I am stretching, so there's free weights as well to the right with a proposed mirror location. And then this would be the multi-purpose rooms, a proposed approach to reusing the existing lumber and provided it in a suspended ceiling approach. And there's enough space and security that you could have a large amount of people in this space. Since it is technically would be one exit, you're kind of max out with 60 people, but there's always a possibility of having to, depending on the approach this town wants to take, we can add doors if needed. So the recommendations from ourselves to the town and town staff is that Uni Design will complete the current exhibit of record contract, which is essentially submitting this final design development package to the town and proposing having that completed by the end of this month. But the town take this design development package to be costed by a third party cost consultant if they feel that's the right approach, or the town can use this design development package for future grant opportunities with provincial or federal grants. And that is my presentation for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Matthew. And yeah, it's always good to see drawings as far as to get an understanding of what exactly our opportunities, what opportunities we have. So there's a lot more that needs to happen from this step, and that's, you know, with regards to grants and things like that to help pay for whatever it is. So I think, like you say, the next steps would be to cost it to see, you know, if it's within reach, and then start looking for grants. I guess I imagine, is there opportunity still for any changes or anything like that that needs done, or is this the final drawing?
Through you, Mayor Martin, there's so this design phase, there are, it's not going to put you into a pinch point down the road if you're wanting to make changes. I think at this time, have to make any sort of minor changes, but the changes in the future could always happen if it becomes a project. Depending on what those changes are, of course, we can take that back.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and well done. So I'm going to open up to council. Any questions from council for Matthew? Go ahead. All right.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much for the presentation. I really like the designs in terms of what's there. My one question was in terms of this is the first time I've seen, well, we've seen the layout for the gym. I see we have two I take bathrooms, washrooms, or shower areas. So one male, one female going off the gym. Is that right? In the top left corner.
Through you, Mayor Martin, that is correct. My apologies. I was going to pull up the floor plan to show.
Yeah, no, I'm just further, my only question is that in looking at the plans for phase one, I noticed that we have a significant area of what is now the lobby of the rink that's going to be made into I believe it's 2, if not 3 new washrooms there. So I'm just worrying about the redundancy of having 2. I understand in terms of it being a change room for the gym or whatnot, but in terms of economies of scale here, is there a way we might be able to modify the ones we already have in the lobby to use for the gym? Because what I'm seeing here, I love what we have for the gym, but when I look at it, between the two change areas and the storage, which we need a little bit of, it probably accounts for close to half of the floor space for that gym. So all I was saying was, if there was a way we could maybe either shrink the size of those change rooms or either work them in with the ones we already are going to have in the lobby, which is going to be what, 15 or 20 feet away from the gym, it would give us the ability maybe to have another use for more space in that gym. So whether it's another exercise room, a yoga room, just another, another room that we could use for our community in terms of utility.
Through you, Mary Martin, I don't disagree with that point for sure. And I think, and if it becomes a next step project, I'd be happy to sit down with town staff and yourselves to kind of get everybody's opinions on the table. Now, from the washroom count perspective and a building code perspective, I don't want to get too technical, but we technically have to design this building as a kind of a standalone project, if it were. So the amount of people coming into the space, we have to account for washroom counts from that occupancy type. But there, from your concerns with efficiency, absolutely, there's definitely ways we can find efficiency in the overall floor plan.
Yeah, thank you. It is, that sort of is about a kind of efficiency in that if we go through with everything we have here, what I see is we're gonna have 5 washrooms in the lobby area between the gym and the rink. And if there's a way we could maybe stick with the 3 and make those 3, you know, because I don't envision the same number of people using our gym, although I hope that happens, but as the Y. So I don't want to, as I said, overbuild here in terms of, you know, we have 2 washrooms that really aren't even going to be used because, as I said, we've got 5 washrooms in a facility where probably 3 would be suffice.
Okay. Did you get that, Matt?
Can we see the drawing? It's hard to, when we're talking about this, not to see it on the screen.
Matthew, can you put that floor plan up again?
There you, Miramar. One moment, please. Through you, Mayor Martin. We're referring to these locker rooms to the north here that we're simply showing 3 toilets per locker room. These would be these X's would be showers, and then the sinks, double sinks for those as well, and then a standalone dedicated bathroom, a toilet sink, and then a dedicated universal washroom for the fitness gym as well.
So that is something we can look at in the future, and, you know, understand it better.
Through Mayor Martin, I completely agree. I think the big picture piece here is to finish the design development package to provide it to the town for that costing as it stands now. And then I always say that if you cost it high and then work our way down to what you want to design, I think that's the right approach for this particular project.
Okay, thank you. Councillor Doherty.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Is any thought given to moving the multi-purpose room down to the front? I know it would cause a really big design change, but we'd have to put sidewalks, lighting and everything to go to the back if we wanted to utilize it. Otherwise, you have to go through the whole area to get to it.
Through you, Mayor Martin, I'm glad you brought that up. It was one of the first pieces we looked at internally here, and I was concerned just about the fitness gym as a whole to get that proper viewing range to the east and south. But from a design perspective as a whole, it wouldn't be a big change, but again, something we could look at into the future.
Any other questions for Matthew? So for today, it would be just a motion to receive this and,
Can we bring up the recommendation, please?
there's still opportunity, which. Okay, so the recommendation, and there's still opportunity if there's any changes or anything like that, Matthew? If we went with this recommendation, this just gets it moving along.
Through you, Mayor Martin, essentially the first recommendation would be to finalize our contract through this, not to say that future contract for this project would happen, and then sit down further sit down with the town and understanding what their kind of goals are. We could bring that forward. But essentially, yes, at the end of this month, we're proposing having this complete. But happy to take any comments from here on out.
Okay. All right then. Go ahead, Councillor Flegler.
For you, Mayor Martin. Just one question about the bathrooms that have been brought up. Apparently, we're going to share them with the arena. If we do that, how does that work when it's nighttime and they want to go in and use the gym? Like, we're going to have a card, right? So that anybody can use it at any time? Is that my perception of how this is going to go?
That will be the details later, but that's the way it works in most of them, yes. You're right. Yeah. Oh, Matthew, I don't think Matthew's got that stuff.
No, we can determine that later.
Yeah. That would be up to us to determine that later.
Through you, Mayor Martin, I believe that is correct. It would be an operations perspective.
Okay. Anything else? All right, so the recommendation is here to allow us to kind of keep it moving, understanding that this isn't, there's still a lot more work to do to finalize this. So does anybody want to move the recommendation? Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councillor Flegler. All in favor? And that's carried. So, okay, well, thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Mayor Martin. Thank you, council and town staff. I appreciate your time. Have a great day.
You too. All right, our next delegation is the Cordova Mines Recreation Association presentation to council. So, hello, Claire. Are you doing the presentation?
Yes, I am, Mayor Martin. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Okay, I will just get my slideshow ready. And it's wonderful to be here. Thank you for having us here. I'm here on behalf of Cordova Mines Recreation Association. My name is Claire Matthews, and I believe that Lisa Howie is also online today. So I'm here. It should be a fairly quick presentation. We're here to talk about a couple of things. We do have a requirement under our lease agreement to provide a report back every year on our activities and our financial status. And we're also here today as some of you are aware, we have submitted a grant application through the Ontario Trillium Foundation. I led this with 4 other members of our committee, Jeff Howie, Sharon Haynes, Amanda Maloney, and Kathy Ireland. And we wanted to give you an update on the status of that application. So as you may be aware, Ontario Trillium Fund grants are 1-year funding opportunities to improve community facilities and physical spaces, and we can apply to up to $200,000 in funding. And for those of you who have been to our events, we just held one on Saturday night, in fact. We had a great St. Paddy's Day dinner. Our kitchen is no longer meeting our needs. Oh my gosh, I should have brought in some photos to show you. So volunteers are preparing meals and attending bars for up to 100 individuals at our events in really small space with old appliances and very limited storage. Many of us, of course, have our food handlers and our smart serve courses and are trying to follow food and safety guidelines using this outdated equipment. And we do feel that a modernized kitchen and washrooms will encourage more people to rent our space and bring in additional revenue, as the closest towns that have rental facilities, Marmor and Havelock, are about 20 kilometers away. So we have requested funding to address these needs.
Hopefully she comes back. Lisa, are you on there? Is it us? It's frozen.
Maybe if she turns off her camera. I don't know if she can.
Hi there. I'm here. I don't know what happened to Claire.
I don't know if she can hear us, but maybe she could turn her camera off and try and see if she can finish what she's presenting here.
Yeah, I'm just messaging her. She's got it, so I don't know. Let me see.
There she is.
Okay.
Okay, muted.
Claire, you're muted.
How long have I been muted?
No.
Few minutes.
You
Not
froze
long?
up.
I froze. Oh, I'm at home. Oh my gosh. So welcome to Cordova Lake and ExploreNet.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it
So,
helps. Sometimes it helps if you
Pardon
shut
me?
your camera. Sometimes it helps if you shut your camera off and just use the.
Okay.
But then I don't know.
Right. Why don't I?
You see the screen? still?
Okay. Why don't I?
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Why don't I try that? I'll shut my camera off.
Now it's muted.
Oh my
You didn't
goodness.
shut the
Here we
camera
go.
off. Like,
There we go. Fantastic. I'm so sorry. So
Okay.
we've been working with local contractors who've provided quotes. And we submitted the application back on March 3rd, and we've requested $93,000. And about half of that is for the renovations and the contractors, and the other half is for appliances and kitchen renovations. And some of the major appliances are a new electrical range, a fridge, a cooler, and then some cupboards and the like. So if successful, we have requested that the funding start in this July, and be provided over a 12-month period. And there would be some flexibility with that start date. And we don't anticipate it would take the full 12 months, but we could only request 6 or 12 months of funding. So that's it for that's the status of the Trillium Fund application. I do feel that we are a very good candidate. But I have no idea what the funding envelope is for the Ontario Trillium Fund application. And of course, we have no idea who else has applied, but we'll wait and see. So we're really pleased to have had the support of the township, and Bob Angione has been very helpful as well in providing supportive letters for our application. The other piece of update I wanted to provide is a bit of an overview of our events from last year. So this next slide shows those. You can see we were very active last year, and then this year will be very similar. So you can see just about every month of last year we had events, and many of you at council attended our events, and we're very pleased for your support. So this page just shows the different events we had and who is responsible for those events. And already this year, we've done the same. We had a St. Patrick's Day dinner just on Saturday and had about 90 attendees actually. So I'm really pleased to have that. And then Lisa's already getting ready for the spring dinner in April. And then finally, the last slide shows the financial statements. I've provided them for the last 3 years because we were required to do this for the Trillium grant. And I think this is a really important slide because it shows how much we're growing. 2022 is the year that this current board took over, the Cordova Mines Recreation Association. It was also the final year of the pandemic, so you can see that the numbers weren't very high. There really weren't a lot of activities. But you can see that we're continuing to grow from assets of 9,900 in 2022 to 18,000 in 2023 to 22,000 in 2024. So we're just so pleased of the work that's happening in the community, the support that we have of the community and the support we have of the council. Again, we're very pleased to see the number of you that come to our events and support our events. I do want to just add one caveat for 2024. We have 22,000 in assets, but about 10,000 of that is currently earmarked for a roof to be built on the rink, for the rink in Cordova when that is ready. So we don't actually have as much money as it shows, but we are continuing to build and grow. So that's really all I wanted to say. I just wonder if there are any questions from anybody.
Okay, thanks, Claire. Yeah, I'll open up to council. I was at your St. Patrick's Day dinner. It was excellent again. So thank you very much. But and a good turnout. So Deputy Mayor Webb.
To you, Mr. Mayor, no, just a comment. I'd just like to thank Claire and the group for all the hard work they've done. Just looking at the numbers here, you can see how this group has really grown here just in the last 2 or 3 years. $30,000 a year in fundraising is for a community our size is just fantastic. So just on behalf of council and myself, I said hats off to you. Keep up the good work, and if there's anything we can do to help you, move forward, that I think we'd be more than happy to do so. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? All right, thanks. Oh, there's a go ahead.
Yeah, just like and appreciate the initiative of the board. Go ahead and get the grant done, and it shows well. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you, and fingers crossed that we get the funds, and we'll certainly. Oh my gosh, we really are hopeful, and we'll let you know as soon as we get any news. But thank you for all of your support. It's been very much appreciated also.
Thanks, Claire. We'll keep following along and see how you make out there.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, take care.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
all.
Yeah, bye-bye. Bye.
Great job.
Okay, receive the delegation. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councillor Doherty, all in favor, and that's carried. Okay, next on the agenda is public meeting for zoning bylaw amendments. We have 3 of them here, so I'll look for a motion to go into the public meeting for that. Councillor Doherty, Deputy Mayor Webb, all in favor, carried. With these 3 zoning bylaw amendments, I'm going to read here. This is a statutory public meeting held under Section 39 of the Planning Act. Any person may attend the public meeting and or make verbal or written representation, either in support or in opposition to the proposed zoning bylaw amendment. Please keep your video off and microphone muted during the meeting until the chair invites comments regarding a planning matter. A person or public body does not make oral submission at the public meeting or make written submissions to the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen before the proposed zoning bylaw is passed. The person or public body is not entitled to appeal the decision of the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen to the Ontario Land Tribunal. If a person or public body does not make an oral submission at the public meeting or make written submissions to the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen before the proposed zoning bylaw amendment is passed, the person or public body may not be added as a party to the hearing of the appeal before the Ontario Land Tribunal unless the opinion of the tribunal, there is reasonable grounds to add the person or public body as a party. If you wish to be notified of the passing of the zoning bylaw amendment, you must make a written request to the township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen. So with that, I'll turn it over to Samantha.
Good morning, council. This morning, my first presentation just is about a zoning bylaw amendment application for Shady Lane, which is owned by Gord Tucker. Next slide, please. The purpose and effect of this report is to present for the consideration and requisite approval of council an application to amend the comprehensive zoning bylaw in order to establish special district zones and introducing site-specific regulations to facilitate the creation of 2 new lots, one with reduced frontage and one with reduced lot area. An application for consent was received by the County of Peterborough Land Division in October 2022. And further amended and submitted in November of 2023. The purpose of the amended applications would have the effect of severing 2 vacant lots. The Township Council endorsed the applications on March 19th, 2024 to facilitate the consent application subject to following conditions, including a rezoning application. The county granted provisional approval to the applications B139 2022A and B140 2022A on October 29th, 2024. Severed lot 1 serves to be rezoned from the rural zone to the special district zone to recognize the deficient lot frontage of 25.43 meters where 45 meters is currently permitted. And severed lot 2 serves to be rezoned from the rural zone to the special district 294 zone to recognize the deficient lot area of 0.72 acres where 0.75 acres is currently permitted. Next slide, please. Following our review and assessment of this application within the context of the relevant land use planning policies, it is the Township's planning opinion that the subject application conforms to the County of Peterborough's official plan, the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen's official plan and zoning bylaw, and is consistent with the provincial planning statement. Planning staff can confirm that a notice was provided in accordance with the Planning Act, and a mail notice was provided to all homeowners within 120 meters of the subject site, and a property sign was posted. Happy to answer any questions.
And yeah, the only question I had was with regards to why it had to have lot 2 there with such a big property. I'm surprised it had to have a amendment done to, like, when they could have probably made the lot big enough, but
yeah, through you, Mary. Yeah, it was I wasn't here at the time that this was all done, but it is unfortunate that a rezoning application could have been avoided but I'm not too sure why the reasoning why that one lot, separate lot 2 wasn't increased by that 0.03 acres to avoid the rezoning, but here we are.
okay. Thank you. Any other questions? So recommendation here, Deputy Mayor Webb.
Mr. Mayor, yeah, we've already examined this and seen no comments or objections to it. I'll make a motion that we approve the recommendation.
Okay, by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councillor Doherty. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, the next item on here is go ahead.
Thank you. This is a zoning bylaw amendment application just around the corner from the previous one, 119/129 Shady Lane. The subject property is located on Jack Lake and accessed off of Shady Lane, owned by Robert and Rita Foran. The agent on the file is Scott Cummings. Next slide, please. The purpose and effect of this report is to present for the consideration and requisite approval of council an application to amend the comprehensive zoning bylaw in order to establish a special district zone, introducing site-specific regulations to facilitate a lot addition application to permit the construction of an accessory structure. The zoning bylaw amendment application does request relief from the high water setback, front yard setback, maximum total floor area of accessory structures, and maximum height. The property is subject to consent application B3823, which had the effect of adding a portion of the lands from 119 Shady Lane and adding it to the benefiting property at 129 Shady Lane. The Township Council endorsed the application B3823 on September 19th, 2023 To facilitate the lot addition application, subject to a merger agreement and rezoning application are completed. The county granted provisional approval to application B 3823 on February 8th, 2024. The applicant is requesting approval to demolish the existing bunkie and frame shed and construct a new accessory structure with gross floor area of approximately 1,200 square feet. The proposed accessory structure will be located 4.5 meters from the shoreline, where the existing bunkie to be removed is currently 3 meters from the shoreline. Therefore, the proposed accessory structure does provide a minimal improvement from the setback to the shoreline. Next slide, please. The zoning bylaw amendment application is proposed to decrease that minimum required setback between the accessory structure and the high water mark from 30 meters to 4.5 meters. The rezoning serves to request relief from a maximum height of 6 meters for the proposed accessory structure, where only 4.5 meters is currently permitted. The zoning bylaw amendment application will also recognize the existing dwelling, attached deck, and reduced lot area. The application is also requesting to increase the maximum total floor area of all accessory buildings from 75% of the total floor area of the main building to 124%. As you can see here in the images, it was identified that there's a shipping container on the property, which is not permitted within the seasonal residential zone. This will be removed with the construction of the new accessory structure. Next slide, please. Following our review and assessment of this application within the context of the relevant land use planning policies, it is the township's planning opinion that the subject application conforms to the County of Peterborough's official plan, the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen official plan and zoning bylaw, and is consistent with the provincial planning statement. Planning staff can confirm that notice was provided in accordance with the Planning Act. Mail notice was provided to all homeowners within 120 meters of the subject site, and a property sign was posted. Answer any questions.
Questions for Stan? A lot happening on a narrow space, so. There's a recommendation here. What's council's thoughts?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to accept the recommendation of the planner.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Webb that we go with the recommendation. Second by Councillor Doherty. Any questions? All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, and the final one here is the Lauren Steinman and Sherry Wasser.
Yes, this is a zoning bylaw amendment application from 1022 Fire Route 89. Subject property is also located on Jock Lake and accessed on Fire Route 89, owned by Lauren Steinman and Sherry Wasser. The agent on the file is Riley Martin. Next slide, please. Sorry, this is a long one. The purpose and effect of this report is to present for the consideration and requisite approval of council an application to amend the comprehensive zoning bylaw in order to permit the redevelopment of a single detached recreational dwelling unit, detached garage, and boathouse, while also introducing certain site-specific regulations. The zoning bylaw amendment application does request relief from the high water mark, front yard setback, dwelling overhangs, height of the accessory structure, and maximum total floor area of accessory buildings. The proposed dwelling will have a ground floor area of approximately 286 square meters, around 3,000 square feet. The boathouse will be relocated in the area of the existing shed, which is to be demolished as part of this application, with a gross floor area of approximately 250 square feet. The existing boathouse platform, decks, and dock are to remain and be recognized as part of this application. The zoning bylaw amendment application is proposed to decrease the minimum required setback between the dwelling and the high water mark from 30 meters to 12.8 meters, and to decrease the minimum front yard setback from 21.3 meters to 12.8 meters. The new seasonal residential dwelling is also proposed to include overhangs exceeding the required maximum projection distance in the zoning bylaw of 0.9 meters or 3 feet, where only 0.6 meters and 2 feet or 2 feet is currently permitted. The rezoning also serves to request relief for a maximum height of 7.31 meters for the proposed accessory structure, where only 4.5 meters is currently permitted. The application is requesting to increase the maximum total floor area of all accessory buildings from 75% of the total floor area of the main building and to 78%. Next slide, please. A site visit was unable to be completed for the property due to limited access during the winter months. We have received an email of support from a neighboring property owner. Following our review and assessment of this application within the context of relevant land use planning policies, it is the township's planning opinion that the subject application conforms to the County of Peterborough's official plan, the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen's official plan and zoning bylaw, and is consistent with the planning statement. Planning staff can confirm that notice was provided in accordance with the Planning Act. Mail notice was provided to all homeowners within 120 meters of the subject site, and a property sign is posted on the property. Again, happy to answer any questions.
Okay, any questions for Samantha? Go ahead. Graham?
Through your chair, it says we're decreasing the number of feet that is going to be closer to the high water mark from 98 to 42.
Yes, you're correct.
And
The reasoning?
yeah, that will, yeah.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. So the existing cottage is located at that point. So they're essentially tearing down that existing cottage and maintaining that existing setback, which is that, I believe, that 12.8 meters.
So it's not moving any closer?
It's not getting any closer to the high water mark. It's just maintaining that existing setback of 12.8 meters.
Inside the 90 meters.
Inside the 90
That's why
meters.
they're having to apply.
Exactly, yes.
Right.
Yeah, and our zoning bylaw does allow them to rebuild, making sure they're not getting any closer to that high water setback.
Sorry, it says it's proposed to decrease the minimum required setback between the dwelling and the high water mark from 30 meters to 42 or to 12.8 or 98 feet to 42 feet. So that's not a decrease.
It's a decrease through your merit. It is a decrease in the fact that they're requesting relief from what is required in the zoning bylaw and decreasing it to that 12.8 meters. But they aren't getting any closer to the high water setback than what is currently there.
Okay, thanks.
All right, any other questions for Samantha? Go ahead.
Just one. Through you, Mayor Martin. So they're not gonna go any closer to the water. They're gonna rebuild where the actual cottage is. Is it not possible for them to move back within the, I don't know, 30 meters or 60 meters like that? Like for the high water mark?
Yeah, through you, Mayor. I wasn't here as part of the pre-consultation, so I believe that Riley Martin's the agent on the file might be available online to maybe determine exactly why it couldn't be pushed back. Maybe because of trees on site. I know there was a portion of drowned land that was identified in the EIS, so there may have been some environmental constraints there as well as to why they couldn't be shifting that dwelling any farther back. I don't know. I thought Riley was supposed to be.
Warren is on here. I don't.
Yep, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Riley Martins. I'm the applicant. So when we originally went with ARIA through the pre-consultation for this application, we determined this was the best location for the proposed dwelling, and that was based on number of external factors such as the hydro. So the setback to the overhead wires, but mainly the drowned land. This is like almost like a peninsula lot where the drowned land is behind the dwelling as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay then. So there is a recommendation here. What's council's thoughts on this one?
Okay, I'll move the recommendation.
So that's moved by Councillor Flagler. Second. Councillor Doherty. Questions? All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, well, thank you, Samantha. So we'll get a motion to go out of the public meeting and we'll deal with bylaws later. We'll go out of the public meeting, back into the regular. Deputy Mayor Webb. Councillor Doherty. All in favor? Carried. With that, we move into the planning report. And Samantha, you can't get away yet. So, first here is a holding provision for council.
Yes, no presentation for this one, just a quick removal of hold for an application that we saw previously, just to ensure that a road agreement and environmental impact mitigations agreement is registered on title. And so we're able to remove that hold once those are all finalized at lawyer's office. So it will be finalized after the removal of the hold, so I'm starting to do them together to avoid subsequent reports and coming back to council. So removal of the hold and have the agreements at one time in front of council.
Okay, thank you. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second, Councilor Doherty. All in favor? That's carried. Next, consent application.
Yes, the consent application B 12921A for 391 Belmont Township, 4th line. The subject property compromises approximately 40.87 hectares or 101 acres with road frontage on Belmont 4th line. Next slide, please. If approved, the lot to be created will compromise approximately 36.51 hectares or 9.2 acres with approximately 86.1 meters of road frontage on Belmont 4th line. As indicated by the consent application, the retained parcels, so and outlined in green here, will compromise approximately 4.36 hectares or 10.7 acres of land while maintaining 144.8 meters of road frontage on Belmont 4th line. The retained parcel would serve to include the existing single detached dwelling and septic, and a new well would need to be constructed on the retained lands to serve that existing dwelling. This severed parcel would be intended to support a future single detached dwelling. The subject property is currently designated as rural in the official plan and also zoned as rural. The report did indicate that the applicant was proposing a kennel as a proposed use on the severed lands. However, the applicant has advised this is not proposed at this time as part of this application, and therefore the rezoning condition is not required. Therefore, it is advisable for council to endorse the subject application, removing the condition of the rezoning as the lots are zoned for their proposed uses and to conform to the required setbacks. Happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Samantha? Okay, the recommendations here. Moved by Councilor Doherty. Sure. Second by Deputy Mayor Webb. Any questions? All in favor? That's carried. So, okay, that concludes the planning report. Thank you, Samantha.
Thank you, guys.
Next, on the agenda is staff report for information. Several here. So, first item is council building report for February 2025. Next item on here is the fire incidents report for January. Okay. Fire incident report summary for February. Fire. Next on here is the annual drinking water report. Quite lengthy. Any questions on that? Okay. Next item is council remuneration and expenses. Go ahead.
Yeah, just question, I guess, for CEO. Other questions of CEO. I was just wondering if we could maybe have a report brought back in terms of the council's policy in terms of spending towards I guess more of the conferences, education side of what that is, just to exactly be clear in terms of what the parameters are there.
Yeah, okay, go ahead, Claire.
Yes, through you, Mayor Martin, we can certainly bring back, there is a current policy with respect to conference attendance and expenses. We can bring that back for council's consideration.
I appreciate that, Bob. It's just those numbers there. I think some things need to be reviewed.
Okay, that's moved by Deputy Mayor Webb that we get a report brought back, and second by Councilor Doherty. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, next item on here for information was economic development, social media insights. Questions around that? None? Motion to receive the balance of the staff report for information. Deputy Mayor Webb, second. Councilor Doherty. All in favor? Carried. All right, so we have some staff reports with follow-up action. And the first item on here is the noise bylaw amendment. I was here to help us with this if we need any help. So this is one of those things that's been around for a long time. Or the question brought up around times of work being allowed, so. Here, but is there any questions for Travis on this? Go ahead, Deb.
For you, Mayor Martin. So my understanding is, the daytime hours for, I guess, cottages being built, they want to be out there. Because is this noise bylaw for everyone in the area? Because it seems to be coming just from lakes.
So through Mr. Mayor, it is for the entire township for construction purposes.
Okay, thank you.
So the recommendation there is that we receive the report for information and direct staff with respect to the times. I honestly haven't had any complaints around the times that we have right now, and been in place for a long time, so don't know whether it needs to be changed. That's up to council. If you've had complaints or anything like that, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'll make that motion, but just have with the comment that likewise, I haven't received too many complaints, but at the same time, reading the report I did 5 a.m. did strike me as a little bit early. Now talking with our CBO, he informed me that there are a lot of contractors, especially in summer, that like to get out very early. That being said, as I said, I still think 5 a.m. is pretty early, and we could be looking maybe at a 6 or 7, but I'll wait for the staff report to come back for that. So I'll just.
I don't think there is a staff report. This is our chance now. If you thought that you wanted to change it to 6, there is a possibility that it's receive the report for information and provide staff direction with respect to the regulated. Like, so there is an opportunity now. If you think, 6 o'clock works.
I like 6 o'clock better than 5 o'clock. I guess now I'm not a contractor and I don't know, obviously. But without knowing too much more about it, just my discussions with the CPO and maybe a couple of contractors, I would probably be more inclined towards a 6 a.m. But just need that for council.
So there is an opportunity even for a contractor if there's a time crunch or time sensitive things like say concrete or something like that they had to get out early, they can still apply for I think we did it last year for the long-term care. They can apply for a relief of that for a specific job. But
through you, Mr. Mayor, there is that opportunity for contractors, like you said, similar to the long-term care. They had some late night pours that they came and asked for an exemption.
Mm-hmm.
It's council's wish to amend the noise bylaw, we can amend it and bring it back to a future meeting.
Yeah, I guess I'll move it at 6, but I'm also open to comments from other council members here in terms of that. I noticed reading the report, a lot of our neighboring municipalities are in the 7 a.m. range, right? So Norwood, North Cortland, not that we have to do what all our neighbors do, but the two that seem to be the two that were at, or we're one, or there's 3 that are at 5 a.m. Sorry, Travis. The 2 others, I believe, were Selwyn and Kevin Monaghan, or Selwyn and
Through Mr. Mayor, North Cork was one of the
North Cork. Okay, sorry. Okay.
I believe they received the same request from Mr. Brand, just haven't got the report back yet.
Okay, so you'll get my motion that we will.
I'll start with 6, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so there is a motion on the floor for to amend the time from 5 to 6 a.m.
I'll second it.
Okay, second by Councillor Doherty. Okay, all in favor of the motion?
And I just have one
Sure.
question.
Yep.
I'm okay with the motion, but if we're sharing a lake, like Jack's Lake, for instance, North Kawartha, and they're 5, and then we change to 6, is that gonna be a problem? Or are we expecting North Kawartha to follow us? Because we should really stick with North Kawartha.
Travis?
So through Mr. Mayor, we have a number of different bylaws, same bylaws, but enforced through North Kawartha and enforced through us. They're different across the board in certain areas, so we would enforce whatever type we have.
So I'll call a question then. All in favor of the motion? That's carried. Thank you. Next thing on here is the Havelock-Belmont-Methuen lower level security alarm.
So the purpose of this report is to provide council with information regarding the installation of a security alarm in the lower level of the library. It's recommended that staff proceed with the installation, totaling $593.25 with the tax included. It's also recommended that that cost comes out of the building repairs and maintenance general ledger account. A little bit of background, February 4th. At the February 4th council meeting, Councilor Clement made a request to have the alarm installed in the lower level where the current historical society has their artifacts. It was moved by Deputy Mayor Webb and seconded by Councilor Schleiber.
Okay, council, thoughts here?
I made the first motion, so I'll make the second motion, but we go ahead. It'd be nice to have, I think we got 2 separate groups now in that building. It's nice that the group using the basement at the moment will have some kind of security about the stuff that they put in there, so I'll make that motion.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second by Councilor Doherty. Questions?
Just one through you, Mayor Martin. So when this security system goes in, is that going to be shared with the library board, or is this just for the person that's using that space?
Through you, Mayor Martin, I believe it will be shared if the library board, after their 6-month term, goes back down there.
So that would be shared after? Because I feel that there seems to be issues there, so I think it should be a sole use of the person that's using the basement space, not shared with other parties. Thank you.
Through you, Mayor Martin, just to clarify, so the alarm will be available and accessible to any user groups that have access to that space. So currently there's one user group that has access to that space, and that's the Historical Society. So for the moment, they will be the only ones having the code. If that changes down the road, then there can be a change to the code.
Through you, Mayor Martin, to further that, we can have multiple codes. You can have up to 30 codes installed on these systems. So if there was an issue regarding a different user group going in, it would associate with the code that was put in at that particular time.
The recommendation here before you, what's your thoughts? Did we do the first and second? Yeah, okay, so all the question's been asked, so all in favor? Thank you. Carry it. Next here is the ballpark booth and canteen contract.
Thank you. So the purpose of this report is to seek council's approval to award the 2025 season ballpark canteen contract. It's recommended that the request for quotation be awarded to Tom and Danielle Moffat in the amount of $500. A little bit of background.
Excuse me, no talking, thank you. Go ahead, sorry, Josh.
Okay. A little bit of background, staff have developed and advertised a request for quotation to operate the 2025 season. It was released on February 10th and it was closed on March 5th. At 11 a.m. There was one submission and it was for the existing contractors, Tom and Danielle Moffett, in the amount of $500. And the financial impact would be $500 in revenue going into the rental general ledger account.
Here. Deputy Mayor Webb.
Yes, so I'll make a motion to go with the recommendation, just with the comment, that the Moffats, in my opinion, have done a very good job over the last, I think they've been doing it for a number of years, Josh. I don't know how many, but we're probably getting up close to 10. They're very well received by the community. They're always there. They're there every night. It's always open. So, yeah, no problem making this motion.
Okay, thank you. That's moved by Deputy Mayor Webb. Second by Councillor Clive. Question?
Yeah, what is, do they have scheduled hours or is it they make up their own depending on the activity at the area?
Right, so through you, Mayor Martin, they do make up their own hours corresponding with the user groups.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor of the motion? And that's carried. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so the next item on here is appointment for the weed inspector. Something. So there is a recommendation here. So, anyways, you want to move it? Yeah. That's kind of moved by Deputy Mayor Webb and second by Councillor Doherty. Any questions on that one? All in favor? That's carried. Great. Next, we move into correspondence action items, and one of the things that's not on here is the we've received a lot of emails since Friday, which didn't make it to the agenda with regards to the boat launch that North Forth has up in Jack's Lake. We will be reaching out to them to get some clarification on this and what's happening. So anyways, for people that did the emails, we will be responding, but we just need more details on where this is coming from. So, so the first item on here sorry, I'm just trying to catch up here now. So, correspondence is Calvert Hospital doing a fundraiser here, so it's with regards to Tag Day, annual Tag Day. I don't know what date it's on there.
May 16th.
Friday, May 16th.
Okay. All right, then. So that's going to be something we do to support the hospital. Council's okay with it? Yeah, a motion to move to allow them to do it. The motion would be to move that they have their Tag Day.
Friday, May 16th.
Yeah.
2000.
You moving that then?
Yeah.
Moving. Okay, moved by Councillor Doherty, second. Deputy Mayor Webb, all in favor? And that's carried. Okay, next item here is the Historical Society letter that they provided us with a lot of questions. A lot of your questions we didn't have any answers to yet. Still a lot happening over there. So Bob, do you have anything to add to this? Otherwise, it's to receive it for today.
Through you, Mayor Martin, no, I don't have much to add to the correspondence. There are a couple questions in the letter. I believe the question regarding the alarm was answered earlier in this meeting, so that's been dealt with. There's a question regarding use of space.
Have you had a question?
I just wanted to add that our historical society is working very hard right now. They're almost ready, I think, to have people come in or for council. I'm hoping that within the next month or two, we will get an invitation to go and they're gonna show us what they've done. I went to their past meeting. I was very impressed and they are definitely working hard to display our historical societies. I was in there for 3 hours, so reading everything. Anyway, thank you.
Okay, and yeah, but we do want the historical society to know that we do appreciate all the work that's happening there. Unfortunately, there's been some things around space and we've been stretched, especially since the town hall closed. It's just added to the problem at this moment, but we will be responding as soon as we have everything nailed down as far as all the details around it. The last request was for 6 months and that was passed. As far as a permanent location, hopefully in the near future, we'll be able to help with all of the questions that are here. But right now, I don't have an answer to most of these things right now. So there's still a lot of things happening around it. So, Deputy Mayor Webb.
I agree, and just further to Councillor Flagler's comments, council is here to support you. I see we have members of the group here. In terms of the future, as the mayor said, some things are kind of up in the air, but just speaking for myself here, there was a commitment to either keeping you where you are, or if something does come up where we did need that space, we will find you a space. We're committed to the Havelock Historical Society. As Councillor Flagler said, there's been a ton of work put in, not just here in the last couple of years. This has been something that's been carried on for a number of years. So we realize that you're looking for a space. We don't want you to feel like we're not working with you. We will do everything we can to try and, as I said, get you into a place that's comfortable for you too, in terms of displaying this stuff. We don't want to just stick you anywhere or say we got an extra room here. It's not that. It's what's going to work for us, work for you, and work for the community in terms of displaying the items and whatnot, and making your committee successful. So just leave it at that and shut up now.
Okay, so for today, a motion to receive correspondence. Moved by Councillor Flagler, second by Deputy Mayor Webb. All in favor? And that's carried. Okay. Next item here is from the Havelock Legion Drug Safety Drug Safety Initiative. So, yeah, so thank you. Bob,
yeah. Just for council's information, in the past, this has been supported at the $200 level.
Councillor Doherty moving that 200. Okay, and Councillor Flagler seconding that. Any questions? All in favor? And that's carried. Okay, and the next item here is the rural primary health care. Bob, you want to speak to this? You received this last week.
Yes, through you, Mayor Martin. So this is correspondence from a nurse practitioner who's working in a dual role with Peterborough Community Health Center and Trent Fleming School of Nursing. They are offering an opportunity for the Township of Havelock-Belmont-Methuen to host the team provide care for 1 day every other week or a half day weekly. And they're simply asking if council is interested in having that in our community. We can reach out and hopefully come to an arrangement with this group.
Okay. Deputy Mayor Webb.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, I know we're working on other items around having to do with medical issues here, but I would like to just see us maybe further to discussions with this group. I don't know if I'm ready to commit to something yet in terms of the 1 day every 2 weeks is nice, but I don't know how much that's really gonna, it'll help, don't get me wrong. But I mean, as I said, we've got other options we're looking at here at the moment, but if there was a way we could get a nurse practitioner here on a part-time basis, I think it's something we should look into moving forward. So I would just make a motion that maybe we get staff to contact this group and maybe bring back a report with a little more information in terms of what that agreement might look like if we went down that road.
Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb that we get more information and bring it back. Councillor Doherty.
With a question. Is this a mobile thing, like similar to like where do they set up for the half day, 2 days?
Through you, Mayor Martin, those details would be part of the arrangement we make with them. I don't believe it's mobile, so this is a learning opportunity for some of the nursing students to come with an experienced nurse practitioner. And it would be up to us to make an arrangement with them, and it would be part of the agreement as to where they would practice for the 1 day a week or half day a week.
Thank you.
All right, so there is a motion and Councillor Doherty seconded it, so any other questions? All in favor of the motion? That's great. Okay. The next we have correspondence for information. There's 2 items on here. One was a letter from Accent Building Sciences with regard to the Old Town Hall. And the other one was media release for smoke-free enforcement at local arenas. So, is there any questions on them? If not, I'll look for a motion to receive it back to the correspondence. Moved by Councillor Doherty that we receive the balance of the correspondence. Do I have a seconder for that? Second it? Yeah, Deputy Mayor Webb seconding that. All in favor? And that's carried. I'm going to ask that we take a 10-minute recess here. We'll be back at 10 after. I'm not very good at counting. I know it's 12 minutes, but so a motion for recess. Moved by Councillor Doherty, seconded by Councillor Webb, or Deputy Mayor Webb, sorry. All in favor? There we go. That's okay. We're back in our regular meeting. I'll look for a motion that we resume by Councillor Doherty, second by Councillor Flagler. All in favor? Carried. So next on the agenda is the committee liaison report. And the first, any county council update. So there is an item in here for the liaison report with regards to economic development, but it's minutes from November 25th, 24, 2024. So it's just catching up on some minutes.
It's through you, Mayor, I believe. So we had another meeting a couple weeks ago. So hopefully the next meeting, the minutes from that meeting in February will be brought to council. So, but I'm willing to answer any questions on the minutes that are before you.
Any questions? If not, I'll promotion to receive the liaison report. Moved by Councillor Doherty. Second. Councillor Flagler, all in favor? That's carried. All right, so we don't have any written notice of motion before it. Is there any motion coming out of today's meeting? Being none, we'll move into other business. And other business, we have a couple of items in here. So the first item here is Councillor Doherty with questions for MPP Smith during delegation. Do you have any?
Well, now the election's over, he should have some time to get down and bring us up to date on what's going on. It's nice to hear from him firsthand. And, you know, I think we do have some questions, and if we can provide him with some questions or ideas when he comes, he'll maybe prepare and bring checks with him at the same time. So anyway.
Okay, do we have a date that he is coming, Bob, or?
You remember, Martin, yes, Staff has been in contact with MVP Smith's office and currently scheduled for May the 22nd meeting in May 20th. So if council has any questions in advance for MVP Smith, I'm happy to receive those and we can send them along prior to his delegation.
Okay. Hopefully that doesn't change. We meet every 2 weeks as the mayor's group, and tomorrow's been canceled because I think they're swearing in tomorrow, so it's moved to next week. So anyways, it's okay, so get your questions in, and yeah, it'll help at least you'll be able to answer some of the things. The next item on here is Councillor Flagler, tax rate increase to be set at 4.9. We did pass it last week. Yeah.
Right, thank you, Mayor Martin. I have brought this up because I feel that 5.9 is a little bit too much of an increase with not really enough information that's in our reserves. And then where does that money go? And my understanding is to go to our assets, which we do have one asset right now that's in need of repairs. So basically that's all I brought in, and I would like it to see it to be at 4.9%. I think that's more of a reasonable increase for this year. And then we could better look at what we do have in our reserves and what we will need going forward. Thank you.
Okay. So Lionel, like one of the things that I've seen in the budget documents is our reserves are stretched, and over the next few years, there's going to be some shortfalls. So I thought it was good planning when we were setting the budget to prepare for what's ahead of us, and instead of spiking a huge amount in the future. But this year, what's your thoughts on this, on how we could set this at 4.9? Is there? I know we can do anything, but the explanation on the reserves seems to be not understood.
Through Chair, I think the best way of putting it is there's always going to be a balance. At the last budget meeting, we talked about how, we could have increased the reserve by 100% and we still wouldn't have enough money to spend on all our roads. And on, for instance, the recreation facility, if that grant gets approved, that's going to be $3 to $3.5 million. George Street Phase 2, millions. Wastewater treatment plant, I believe around 4. I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, the roads, the next 10 years, $10 to $20 million. So I think, I'm not speaking for Councillor Flagler, but I think she understood all this as well completely, and it's just a matter of balance and where we want to be. I do know, for instance, if we borrowed $5 million for the wastewater treatment plant, the yearly servicing on that debt would be over $400,000. So borrowing, it's kind of a good way out, like immediately, but then every year after that, that would be the equivalent of a 5% increase on taxes. So my feeling is that it's completely up to council. As you said, half jokingly, I mean, we can do anything, but it's up to council in terms of how far they want to go this year to get money aside so that we don't need to spend that money on interest.
Okay, thank you. All right, so so that was a motion that you're putting forward. All right. So the motion would be that the tax rate increase be set at 4.9%. I'll look for a seconder for that. Not seeing a seconder, the motion's defeated. So, okay, and that's all we had in other business. So with that, we'll move into bylaws, and we have a number of them today. So the first one with regard to zoning is bylaw 2025-017. Yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm gonna have to. I was hoping. Yeah. So the second zoning bylaw is 2025-018.
Or do we do a second? What are we doing?
Oh, sorry.
Seconder on that first.
You seconded, all in favor? That's correct. Second one is again, the zoning bylaw for the 2025-018. And I guess, like you say, Councillor Dory, there was two other zoning bylaws, 2025-019, so we can move those two together.
No, actually three.
The other ones are old and really. You mean move all three of them together then, Bob, or?
Go ahead.
Okay. All right, so the two of them there for the zoning bylaw amendments that are left from that, if somebody wants to move it, we move them. Moved by Deputy Mayor Webb, second. Councillor Doherty, all in favor? Carried. Okay, and we have two with regards to the holding, that was there for example, 2025-020 and 2025-021. Somebody wants to move them. Councillor Doherty, Deputy Mayor Webb, all in favor? Carried. The next item is with regards to the adopting the tax rate. I'm just wondering if we should defer that until we have all of the council here.
Motion to defer, so Councillor comment returned.
Okay. Moved by let's move by Deputy Mayor Webb. Is there a second? Second was like Councillor Doherty. Question? All in favor? And that's carried. And the next item here is the weed to appoint the weed inspector, 2025-023. Let's move that bylaw. Moved by Councillor Doherty, second by Deputy Mayor Webb, all in favor. Carried. And next on the agenda is the closed session. And the closed session meeting is held under section 239-2A of security and property of municipal or local board. And 239-2B, personal matters about identifiable individual, including municipal or local board employees. And section 239-2C, a proposed or pending acquisition or disposition of land by the municipality or local board. And 239-2K, acquisition plan, procedure, criteria, or instructions to be applied to negotiations carried on or to be carried out on behalf of the municipality or board. Motion to go into closed session, moved by Councillor Doherty, second by Deputy Mayor Webb. All in favor? Okay. Well, we're back in open. So I need to, there's no motions with no opposed, so confirming bylaw. Confirming bylaw for today's meeting, Councillor Doherty. Second. Deputy Mayor Webb, all in favor? Carried. Motion to adjourn, Deputy Mayor Webb. Councillor Doherty, all in favor? Carried, thank you.